Hey there, welcome everyone. Today we're diving into a provocative video titled The US is Crumbling, Signs You Can't Ignore by Colin Larry Wilkerson. It's definitely a bold statement right from the get-go.
Absolutely. That title just uh, jumps out at you. It immediately makes you wonder what specific signs he's pointing out, right?
Exactly. Now, the video itself, which streamed live and already has over 34,000 views, seems to focus on a narrative that the US is facing deep structural or societal challenges. It's
Yeah,
packed with like hints and signs that are hard to ignore.
right. And even though there wasn't a detailed description provided, you can tell that the presentation style, the dramatic tone of Crumbling, is meant to spark discussion.
Yep.
It's a subtle mix of military perspective and political commentary.
And it's worth noting that Cole Larry Wilkerson, coming from a military background, tends to use his experiences to stress certain trends. Things like internal discord, perhaps weakening infrastructure, and a perceived decline in national unity. There's a
Absolutely.
clear message here that something fundamental is shifting.
Yeah, but I have to ask, do you think that his viewpoint might be, exaggerated? I mean, using a term like crumbling is super
Yes,
dramatic.
indeed.
It's a choice of words that grabs attention, perhaps even bordering on sensationalism.
Right, it's like he's using a hyperbolic lens to view the current state of affairs. And that raises questions about what metrics or signs are truly indicative of a nation's decline. For instance, are we talking about economic indicators, military readiness, or social cohesion? There's a lot wrapped up in that concept.
Exactly. And looking at his channel, Dialogue Works, there's an attempt to blend politics, military insight, and current affairs. It's almost like he's challenging the mainstream narrative.
Yeah.
It's a strategy to make viewers question the status quo.
Yes. And another interesting point is how the video's metadata, with its streaming details and the sheer number of views, suggests there's a sizable audience hungry for this kind of perspective. It tells
Yep.
us something about the current climate of political discourse in the US.
Right. And even the other videos showing up on the sidebar, ranging from topics on world headlines to edgy discussions on Mobile 3, suggest that viewers are piecing together a broader narrative of discontent. That mix of topics reinforces the idea that this conversation isn't just isolated.
Exactly, it's like each video, whether it's about geopolitics or internal shifts, serves as a piece of a larger puzzle. And coming from someone like Colin Larry Wilkerson, there's an added layer of perceived authority and urgency.
Yeah,
But I
indeed.
do wonder if this also risks creating an echo chamber for similar critical views.
That's a good point. I mean, you could say that while his insights are thought provoking, they might also be fueling fear or reinforcing pre existing biases among his viewers.
Right.
The power of framing in such discussions is undeniable, don't you think?
Absolutely. It's like he's painting a picture that might resonate with those already uneasy about the direction the nation is heading. But then one must challenge this narrative by asking, what are the concrete signs? And could these perceptions be
Yeah, exactly.
overblown? It's important to examine the evidence critically.
And speaking of evidence, did you catch any particular indicators he pointed out? It seemed he talked about things like maybe social division, economic pressures, and even issues in governance. The recurring theme was that these systemic issues are a sign of a broader collapse.
Yes, that's what I gathered too. It's like with each example he presents, he's layering up the argument. Look at these signs, they add up. But sometimes I wonder if this method of presentation might ignore some of the resilience factors that a nation like the US typically exhibits. It's a bit one sided, wouldn't you agree?
I see what you mean. I do. While it's compelling to see the argument as a whole, one could respectfully critique that leaning solely on the dramatic aspects might understate the complexity. The US has historically bounced back from substantial challenges. That resilience is part of its fabric.
Exactly. It's like saying, we've got mountains of problems, but also we've got mountains of strengths. Yet, in his delivery, the emphasis is very
Yep.
much on the crumbling aspects. It's a narrative choice that certainly grabs attention, but begs for a balanced perspective.
Right. And what do you make of the fact that there was no detailed video description provided? Do you think that adds to the mystique or uncertainty? I believe it's intentionally minimalistic, almost to let the title and the live stream itself speak louder.
Yeah, it almost forces the audience to engage with the content directly without preformed ideas from a description. The scarcity of context may allow viewers to interpret the signs in their own
Exactly.
way. It's a double edged sword in terms of audience reception.
And then there are all those related topics that pop up in the video interface, like discussions on WY, BRICS versus Trump, and other hot button issues. It's almost like a curated ecosystem of dissenting voices.
Yes,
That
absolutely.
magnifies the impression that we're living in uncertain times.
Absolutely. It's a whole ecosystem of politically charged content. And while this intensity can foster deep engagement, it also can polarize audiences even further. The
That's
balance
a
between
valid
raising
concern.
awareness and pushing panic is very delicate.
Yes, and using such a binary dramatic title like Crumbling pushes the narrative into extremes. It forces viewers to pick a side quickly without exploring the nuances of the
Right,
actual
right.
signs or data. It's almost like a call to action for suspicion or even alarm.
Exactly. And if we think about the impact, one might ask, is it beneficial to stir up these strong emotions? On one hand, it draws attention to real issues. On the other, it might create a self fulfilling prophecy of doom. It's a delicate balancing act.
Right. And while I respect his perspective as a military voice, I do believe that we need to critically assess these claims. The US has had its ups and downs before, and its strength isn't solely defined by
Yeah,
moments of
exactly.
crisis. That resilience is key to its long term survival.
And that brings us to an important point: context. Even if there are signs of decline, it's critical to put them in a broader historical context. Just like any nation, the US has periods of turbulence that eventually lead to transformation.
Absolutely.
It's not always a linear path to decline.
Right. So, while Colin Wilkerson's claims might resonate with those who feel disillusioned by current events, it's also a reminder that we must look at both sides of the coin. The narrative, though powerful, is just one perspective in a complex debate.
Correct. And it's this sort of discussion that makes his video, despite its dramatic framing, a catalyst for broader conversations about where the US is headed.
Absolutely, I
It
agree.
sparks curiosity and debate, which is vital in any democratic discourse.
And you know, when you add in the context of related videos and trending topics, the whole ecosystem of content, it almost feels like we're in a time of intense media convergence, where every perspective is amplified. It definitely paints
Yeah.
a picture of both challenge and opportunity for critical engagement.
Exactly. It's like a storm of information that forces us to sift through the drama and look for the underlying truths. Even if some points are arguably exaggerated, they open up a conversation about national identity and future direction. And those are questions worth asking.
In the end, whether one agrees entirely with Colin Wilkerson's take or not, the video certainly adds fuel to the fire of the ongoing debate about the US future.
Right on.
And it's up to us, as engaged citizens, to dissect these bold claims and seek out a balanced understanding.
Absolutely. It's a call for deeper discussion about resilience, systemic issues, and the nature of political messaging itself. And that's what makes these conversations so vital. It's a reminder that beyond the sensational headlines, there's always a need for thoughtful scrutiny.
Well said. And as we keep an eye on these trends and provocative messages, let's encourage ourselves and our listeners to question and analyze rather than just accept the narrative at face value. That's how we can truly understand what's at stake.
Indeed. And that's what makes this discussion so engaging, balancing between bold statements and careful analysis. Thanks for joining in this conversation today.
Absolutely. Thanks for
It's
having
been a
me.
great deep dive into the dynamics of such a charged topic.
Yes, and here's to always investigating the finer details behind the headlines. Till next time, keep questioning and stay informed.